Hello YouTube, Max One Chase One. This video is going to be on how to balance your motorcycle tire or your dog side motorcycle tire on the Harbor Freight motorcycle wheel balancing stand. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about the wheel on the 84 Honda Interstate wheel. Like I said, before you do the balancing, make sure you wind up after you got the wheel off. Go ahead and do a complete wash down of the complete wheel. Get all the dirt, the grime, the brake dust. So when you get ready to put the weights on, and these weights here are only here for illustration, when you get ready to stick them back on, they'll have something to adhere to or to stick to. Also too, go ahead and clean all up in your center hub up in this area here. Add new grease for your inner hubs for your axle when it goes through there. Check to make sure that your burn here spins freely, nice and freely. And then also too, put a little bit of grease into these orifices here. I don't know what they're called right at the moment, but like I said, they do have a pin that comes from the shaft that goes right into those. Now also too, since I had the tire off, I had to put another stem on it. Now the other stems, most stems, they come straight out. But what I learned my lesson with is that before I went on a ride about a couple of days ago, I didn't check my air pressure before I left. And when I stopped at the gas station to check it, I had to pull the stem over just a little bit. And when I did, guess what? That stem just split right in half right there. And I'm right there at the gas station with a flat. So now what I recommend is that people, when you get your new stem in there, get a 90-degree stem. And let this be, and this is on the shaft side because the shaft is on this side. And then that way you can have easy access to put air into the tire if need be. All right. Then also too, what I did too with the Honda Goldwing tires and some of the other motorcycle tires, I went and got my drill with a wire brush on it, and I went all the way around this whole rim here, and same thing on the spokes inside of here, and get all that old brake dust grime that you don't hardly never get a chance to get to, because I believe you, if you see a Honda Goldwing, the 84 through 87s, no one never gets that grime off the wheel. So help make the wheel look good, and just while you got it off, go ahead and get a brush wheel on your drill and do both sides. All right. Now, since we have done that, let's go ahead and get ready to get into using the Harbor Freight motorcycle wheel balancing stand. Now with the axle of the motorcycle balancing stand, I like to secure one end just a little bit so I can, when I stick it in there, it has something to kind of give me an idea how far it is. Now on the other end, stick this in as well. And what you want to do, you want to make sure that you have a good balance between this side here and here and here and here. I can see I'm a little bit long on this side, so I'm going to shorten it out a little bit so it can have a good balance between the two. As you can kind of see, I do have a good balance between the left side and the right side. Alright, only thing left to do now is to place it on the stand, and let's see what the balance says for the wheel. What I forgot to add is that before we go to putting it on the balancer, you want to check the wedge to make sure it has a good fit to the hub on your motorcycle. Make sure it's not wobbling, make sure it don't have any looseness to it at all, because we want that to either turn freely here or either turn freely on the stand. Okay, so make sure that the hub is fitting tight on the left side and on this side, right in the hub of the wheel. Okay, let's put the wheel on the balancer. And that's all it takes to put it on the balancer. And it goes on there, and it'll make sure that it spins freely. You can kind of see that the wheel is spinning on the burn of the wheel, but if I wanted to turn it here, it can either turn here freely if the burn on the motorcycle wheel needs servicing. But the burn on the motorcycle wheel is spinning good and freely. Alright, at this point, the next thing you want to do, you want to take any extra weights you may have on the bike off. If you have the stick-on weights, go ahead and take those off. If you got the side weights, those are so ugly, I don't recommend anyone using those. Make sure you take those out. Now let's test the wheel to see what the balance look like for this tire. Since we all know that the stem is one of the heaviest point on the balancing of the tire, I'm gonna start at 12 o'clock. Most people, they like to start around about like 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. But since I've taken the weights off, I'm gonna start it at 12 o'clock and see where it goes from here. Now if it goes on and on, I might slow it down just to kind of see what it's gonna do. Alright, so I've got my hand on it and I'm gonna take my hand off it. And let's see what it does. And see how easily the burn is letting the weight do its job. And if that stops right at the bottom, that means it's pretty much good and balanced. But we can see it be at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Back 4 o'clock. About 4 o'clock. What do y'all think? So if it's looking like at 4 o'clock, I'm going to go totally opposite of that. We just go right straight across. And I'm going to place me some weights here. So let's see if we can get this to balance out at 3 o'clock. Alright, let me wind up and I'm going to take some of my used weights that I kept. And I'm going to tape them together, use tape, cellophane tape, because it don't give it much weight. And see how many weights it would take for it to bring it up to 3 and 9 o'clock. Alright. Okay, on this first try, I placed the weights with cellophane tape completely opposite of where it was. Same thing, it was so close to 3 o'clock. I'm going to start at 3 o'clock this time. And let's see what it'll do from there. Turn it loose. I'm going to give it a little bit of a nudge just to make sure that it will take 3 and 9 o'clock. It went up so far and the weight is kind of bouncing on itself. And if it comes back to 3 and 9 o'clock, I think we're set with only 2 weights I need to put on it. And there it sits at 3 and 9 o'clock. And notice that I have it closer to this edge. I don't have it down too low in the middle. I got it up near the topper edge of the 9 o'clock side. So I think that it's settling still right there at 3 and 9 o'clock, and that would balance that tire out. Again, YouTube, like I said, the same thing. I'm gonna place the weights again like they're gonna be on the outside, not on the inside of the upper part of the rim. It's gonna be on the bottom side toward the outer edge, but it's gonna be full enough away from the edge of the rim so it'll stay adhered to the inside of the tire. Again, that is all that's needed to do a balance of a motorcycle tire, or in my case, a dog side tire on this model of a 1984 Honda Interstate. Again, if you feel that this is useful and this is kind of helps you save a little bit of money so you can put more money in the tank, like it, share it, give me a comment. And also I would like to say thanks for watching. Next one thing out, chase another one. Now YouTube, as you always go, you always got a late entry and a last minute check. So let's do a last minute check again. This time I added a couple more weights and I split in between those two forks, which made it look like it's really diagonally right across from the stem. So we can see if we can get a true 9 o'clock. Nothing like wasting time and burning time, isn't it? There we go. There's 3 and 9 o'clock, because the other one looked like it was like 3:30 and 8:30. But that looked like, man, that's a more of a true 9 o'clock and a 3 o'clock. I hope you all agree. And I'm sorry for the late entry, but I just had to do another check, just like I hope you would do. Is just do another check, add a couple of weights, take a couple of weights off. But again, the other couple of weights, I'm glad I decided to do it another one, because that is perfectly 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Again, I keep maxing one thing out, chasing another one. But this is how easy it is to use the Harbor Freight motorcycle wheel balancing stand. It's just that easy. All I got to do now is just take that off and stick it on the motorcycle. Again, ride safe out there, Goldwing riders.